What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl Leah Alexis, and I'm back with another video. Today's video is going to be so close to home for me, and I'm really excited to share this moment with a lot of you. Recently on my Instagram, I had posted a weight loss picture of me in my journey. Here's the picture that I posted, and there was so many views that picture and video got. It got like over 1,000 views, and for me that's a lot. Like, I only have like 4,000 and something followers on Instagram, so for it to reach 1,000 people, I was just like, whoa, that's a lot of people, a lot of people. So I posted this picture and I pretty much showed how I looked when I was 186 pounds versus how I look now. Actually, I think I'm less than 170 pounds, just because I keep becoming smaller and smaller. Like, my clothes don't even fit me anymore. Like, I was a medium, now I'm getting clothes that are like smalls. Like, my shirts are small, my pant size is like a 30, 32. So I'm really getting smaller than what I originally was. I was originally like a 36, and this is in men's pants, so like 36, 34ish, 36 for real. And then in women's, technically like a 11, 12. That would be like my woman's size, and large shirts in women's, and then men's medium. But now I'm a small in shirts for men's, and now I'm a 32, a 30, 32 in pant size for men's. I don't know what size I am in women's pants, because I don't really wear women's pants. But yeah, so I showed that, and the first thing people noticed was my chest. Okay, first thing people noticed was my chest. And of course, if you haven't been following me on Instagram for a long time, then you wouldn't know that I had top surgery. Now, you're probably like, what is top surgery? For those of you who aren't a part of the LGBTQ community, or don't really know how certain things work for people that look like me, or not even look like me, but top surgery is pretty much a mastectomy. However, it's for people not necessarily with breast cancer, but for people who no longer want breasts. Okay? And I know you're probably like, what do you mean? You're a woman. Why don't you want breasts? It's not making sense. Well, that's what I'm here to talk about today. So I'm going to give you guys a full blow-by-blow on exactly where my mindset was when I got the surgery, before I got the surgery, what even made me want to get something like this. So this is that time. So go ahead, like, subscribe, comment any questions that you guys may have, and I'll actually put them on my Instagram so that you can go ahead and I'll answer those questions on Instagram, or I'll just make a part 2 video for those of you who really want these answers, want these questions answered, or I'll just answer in the comments, so just to make it a little bit easier for everybody. So let's get started. When did I actually know that I wanted to have top surgery? Not until I knew that was a thing. I didn't know top surgery was a thing at first, but I knew even when I was not when I was a kid, but I was always kind of one of those kids who body grew, like my body grew, my body was bigger than everybody else's. So when I was younger, I was smaller, but then I had like lived with my aunt for a while, and we didn't eat the healthiest. So I actually gained a lot of weight, and I became like kind of like a chubby kid. And of course, I had breasts, and yeah, I just kind of always knew my body wasn't how I envisioned my body. So it wasn't until I started getting older that I'm realizing, like, yo, like, I don't like having titties. So it could have been like me having like weight on me, but in reality, I always kind of felt weird having titties. And I know that makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. But I just didn't like having titties. Like, when I would run, like, I played a lot of sports when I was younger. I did track, I was in softball, I played basketball, and I didn't like having titties, like, at all. Like, just running and that shit bouncing, doom, 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 doom. Like, that's a lot. Like, I know some people are probably like, girl, it was a lot for me. And granted, I wasn't one of those people that had actually, I do. Well, I'm saying based off my breasts. I have scoliosis, so I have a curve in my spine already. So like, it was just a lot for me. So as I got older, I started looking into surgeries for your breasts, and I heard about TopSurgery, and I had watched some videos on YouTube about it, and I knew like, oh yeah, this is what I want. But at first I thought it was only for people who were transitioning. And when I say transitioning, I'm talking about women who are wanting, that look like a woman, that are wanting to transition into a man or a male, right? So that means no chest. They can change their vaginal to a penis. And I looked up all of this, like, mind you, so I'm trying to figure out myself. I'm trying to figure out like, hey, like, wait, am I one of those type of people, or am I this type of person? So I'm doing so much research, and mind you, I'm in like high school doing this, right? I'm in high school doing this. So I'm just doing so much research. I even was researching when I was in college, and I realized that I was one of those people who did not want to have breasts, who felt like breast was uncomfortable on my body, where I knew like it didn't make me feel comfortable and confident to be in my own skin. I knew right then and there that, yeah, I wanted my breasts removed. Even like in clothes, like I felt like my breasts like took over my shirts. Like when I say, like, I had C's, so I was a 30-60. When I gained weight, I was a 38C. So I had these titties, and people may think a C isn't that big. To me, a C is big. Okay, a C is big. And I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna have a picture up here so you guys can see like what I was talking about. And I literally, like, it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. It didn't fit my body, and it's just not for me. So yeah, so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get that surgery when I get the money to get that surgery. I actually started having leakage in my breasts when I was in college, and this really solidified me getting the surgery. So breast cancer does run in my family, but I was getting leakage in my breast, and I'm going to the doctor for it, and no one could tell me anything. Like, no one could tell me anything. So I was kind of confused. Like, I had several mammograms done, and they were telling me that I was too young, that they couldn't see anything. Mind you, I'm like 19. I'm 19. The leakage came, then it disappeared, then it came back. It disappeared, and then it came back when I graduated out of college. So when I graduated out of college, and I was having leakage in my breast, the last mammogram that I got, they were just like, we cannot tell you anything. It's too cloudy, so, you know, it's because you're so young. But it's like, y'all can't develop something that will help you see in young people titties? Like, I'm confused. Like, I'm telling you, I'm having pain here and there's leakage. Why can't you help me? Like, I didn't get it. Why? Like, how do y'all not have something to help people like me? So for me, that was really it, because after that, I still was having the leakage. So I was just like, you know what? It's just best for me to just go ahead and get the surgery. And I did it. And I'm happy I did it. Fast forward, I knew that I wasn't one of those people who wanted to transition from female to male. I just didn't want breasts. So I did make that conclusion for myself. And I didn't really see many women that thought and was like me that didn't want breasts but was still considered a woman, if that makes sense. While I'm doing my research, I realized that people that I noticed or was searching for TopSurgery, that some of these people actually was taking something called testosterone, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, so like, what does that do? And it actually like helped with the transition of their body. So for me personally, I want my body to be very lean, muscular look. Like, that's what I want. And once I realized that, I knew that that was what I wanted. So now I'm gonna tell you guys step by step exactly what I did to get this surgery. Okay, so in order to even get a top surgery, you have to get a written doctor's statement from a psychologist, okay? And you're like, what? Yes. You cannot just go and get this surgery. You actually have to have something written from a psychologist stating that you have body dysmorphia. Now, body dysmorphia is when you have certain things about your body that you feel is not yours, right? So for me having breasts, I felt like my body wasn't mine for that. Now, this process was very tedious for me. And I'm gonna say that because I literally found so many different counselors and therapists, right? And every single one was telling me like, hey, I have to see you for 6 months. And I'm like, yo, I don't have 6 months. Like, I want this surgery like immediately. So this was a birthday gift for myself in 2021. I wanted to make sure that I got this surgery for my birthday. So I'm like, okay, so I want this surgery like as soon as possible. So when can I do that? So after doing multiple research, the first thing and first step that you need to do is actually find a surgeon. Okay, so I did so much research on trying to find a surgeon. I looked in Chicago, they had some in Ohio, California, Miami. I'm just like, yo, like some surgeons were so booked up for this surgery that they didn't have any openings until a year out. And for me, I'm thinking, I don't have a year. Like, I want this now. I have the bread, I want it. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, you know what? Nah, like I want this surgery. Like, I want my body to feel like it's mine. I need this surgery. So after doing much research, I found a surgeon that I liked and that I felt would do well on my body. His name is Joseph Hadid. Okay, so Joseph Hadid, I reached out to his people, and pretty much like they had 2 locations. They had one in Miami, they had one in Beverly Hills. So I was just like, okay, well, Beverly Hills, I want to move to Beverly, like not Beverly Hills, but I want to move to California. So I'm like, oh yeah, Beverly Hills, like I love Cali way more than I like Miami. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to Beverly Hills for it. So he told me step by step, him and his team told me step by step what to do. First thing I had to do was actually have a consultation where he saw my breast. And mind you, I live in Chicago, so I had to do all of this via Zoom. So I didn't have to fly out there. I did everything via Zoom. He looked at my breast. He asked me which kind of surgery I wanted, if I wanted the keyhole or what fit best for me. Since I had C's, I couldn't get the surgery where they could take it out through my nipple. I had to get the one where they had to actually cut and create me a whole new nipple and cut the bottom of my breast. So I was cool with that. Like, as long as I didn't have titties, I was cool with whatever, right? That's me. I'm just like, yeah, I don't want titties. I'm cool with whatever. So after that, they told me like, hey, in order for you to actually get this surgery, you have to get a statement from a doctor saying that you have body dysmorphia. They didn't say body dysmorphia, but they pretty much said you need a referral in order to get this surgery. And at first I was confused. I'm like, well, why can't I just get it? And it's literally a law, guys. It's a law. Like, in order to get top surgery, you have to have a psychiatric evaluation done on you in order to get it. Now, this right here was kind of like, what? For me. And I say this because people who get BBLs or breast augmentations and stuff like that, they don't have to get a psychological evaluation. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but if I'm changing my body, why do I need an evaluation for that? They're changing their body. What's the difference? Because I'm removing something and they're getting something put in. Like even with liposuction, you don't need an evaluation, like a mental evaluation for liposuction. So what's the difference? I felt like that was kind of crazy, right? That there's a law literally where I thought that was crazy. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So he said, once I have that, then we can set a date and then boom, we're good. So that was the part that was kind of like, okay, I literally did so much research trying to find a counselor. My friend had sent me a website called Psychology Today or psychology.com or something like that. and I pretty much searched different counselors. I specifically picked somebody who was a part of the LGBTQ community, and I let them know like, hey, I need this because I am trying to get top surgery. And literally every single counselor that I found on that site told me that I needed to at least be going to them for 3 to 6 months, and even some said a year, in order to even get a letter. But granted, that did not stop me, people. So I started going to so I'm like, okay, I found a counselor. I cannot remember her name, and I'm sorry y'all, I deleted all my emails because like Google said that I wasn't receiving emails, so I had too many emails and I had to delete them. And I didn't realize I deleted stuff dealing with my surgery until somebody asked me questions, and I'm looking in my emails and I'm like, oh my gosh, I deleted all of my stuff. So granted, with me, I'll have names for some people, but some people I don't have names for, okay? And I'm sorry. So I found a counselor through my insurance company that I went to see for the first day. I went into her office downtown Chicago, you know, told her about what I was trying to do, and she told me that she would have to talk to her boss in order to see if she could write it. So cool, we had a little session or whatever. Later on that day, she told me that she could not write it, and I had to go to her for 6 months in order for her to even do something like that. And I asked her like, hey, is there anyone else? Like, is there anyone you know that is a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a therapist that could help me? And she gave me her boss's information. So after forwarding me over to her boss said that she knew someone personally who does this all the time. Me and them, we set up a time on Google, on Zoom. It was literally about 3 minutes of a conversation, and they wrote me the letter, guys. They wrote me the letter, and they said that they knew how important this was and how so many people don't have the opportunity because they have to wait, you know. And they were just like, oh, I understand, we have to stick together, and wrote me the letter within 3 minutes of the Zoom conversation, y'all. I do not have their name, I'm so sorry, but I was so geeked. I'm like, oh snap. Like, you see where persistence gets you, guys? I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. So after getting my letter, I instantly hit up Hadid's people like, yo, I got my letter, what's next? I sent over my insurance and everything, and literally, guys, my insurance paid for this entire surgery. The surgery was $69,000. $69,000. Since my surgery was in Beverly Hills, I had to pay an out-of-state fee. Okay, I had to pay an out-of-state fee, which was about $4,000 and something dollars. So my surgery was really just $4,000 and something. Now, I had my surgery done at UCLA, and I had to pay a fee before actually going, before getting my surgery. And I believe that one was about $3,000 and something dollars. So I paid it full out, right? So I was good. I was ready. I was prepared. I went to California. Actually, my surgery date was set for November 10th. November 10th. Now, here's the kicker, people. Remember I told you guys I had a lot of weight on me. So I felt like once I had the surgery, then I would be able to go to the gym and work out. I won't have to worry about my chest going up and down. Like, I would feel like my shirts would fit how it needs to fit. Like, I just felt like I would be able to be me. I would be me. I would be 10 times more confident. I would just be myself. So I had decided that I wanted to know more about taking testosterone. I noticed that there were some things about me that changed over the years, okay? And when I say that, like, my hormones were imbalanced. I had 10 times more estrogen than I should have. Estrogen is honestly the way that you gain weight, okay? If you have a high testosterone in your body, you're considered a mesomorph. A mesomorph is somebody who has a automatically athletic build. I'm an endomorph. I don't have a athletic build, and it takes a lot more for me to lose weight. It takes 10 times more. I have to work 10 times harder to lose weight, and that's because my estrogen levels are so high. So, and that can be from different things. It can be from the food that you put in your body. It can be hereditary. So I wanted more testosterone in my body. So I went to a doctor who specializes in helping people get on hormones in order to help them. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, so you got on testosterone? And did. So yes, I decided to start taking testosterone. I found a doctor that specializes in helping people who have hormone imbalances, and his name was Josh Mueller. He's by Skokie, not by Skokie, but he's near up north, and that's where I was living at the time. So I found him and I told him exactly what I wanted to do. I told him I was getting my surgery, and I wanted to start getting on testosterone, and he was telling me all the cons and pros of it. And I'm just like, okay, well, can I start on the lowest dose? Because I don't want certain things. For example, when you're on testosterone, you're literally changing your body into a male's body. And when I say that, remember I told you guys in the beginning, I want a more muscular, lean look. That's what I want. That's the type of body that I feel and envision for myself. So, for me, I felt like testosterone would help me get to that level, especially with my chest and everything. I felt like it would help me build my muscle mass. So he told me how, if I started taking it, how I would grow a beard, I would have facial hair, my voice would change, my clitoris would enlarge, and I would just grow hair everywhere, right? And then some of those things I may not be able to change back once it happens. And then he was saying, like, if I was on it for years, how I could like receive a receding hairline. And I'm just like, the facial hair for me, the facial hair part was the one that got me on. Do I really want to do this? Do I really want to do this? Do I really want to do this? That's what got me. So I'm like, you know what? We can just try it. So I'm literally using myself as like a lab rat. So I'm like, you know what? Let's try it. Like, mind y'all, I'm probably at 186 pounds, a little more chubbier. I'm just like, you know what? I'm getting that surgery, so I'm gonna be good. Like, I ain't even gonna be on it for that long. Granted, I wasn't on it for that long. November 10th comes, I have my surgery. I go back to Chicago November 16th, and around this time I'm filming my show, guys. I'm filming Delusional around this time, okay? So I had to actually, when I came back from California, I had to be on set that same day. So I actually went to set and filmed my show the same day I came back from California from getting my surgery. And it's so funny because I remember my team, they were like, didn't you just have surgery? And I'm like, yeah, but it's cool, like I'm good. And like I was good. Like the surgery wasn't I didn't have any complications with my surgery. Like they had the little bags, you know, with the blood, the drainages and stuff. I didn't have any issues with my surgery. My surgery to me went really, really well. The only thing that I would say that I did not like was the tape I had to put on my chest. For some reason, the adhesive tape makes me sweat, so it wouldn't even stay on, which really sucked because I've seen people who how their chest looks different from mine. Like I have actually like a scar and you can see it and it's dark, as opposed to some people, I don't know if it's because I'm brown skin or what, but some people that are light skin, or even not even light skin, caramel, you can barely see their scar. And I think it's because they use the adhesive tape, and so did I. However, like I've tried like 5 different brands and it always came off while I'm sleeping or while I'm having my day like outside, or it will always come off. So I just stopped. I stopped using it because I'm just like, what's the point if it's not gonna help? but I do massage my scars all the time, and I've been using oil, so I do plan on getting a tattoo to cover it up. But overall, I don't care about the scars. I think it looks great. Like it reminds me of what was like, what I looked like before and where I am right now. So it's a positive reminder for me that I did what I wanted to do with my body. So I'm going to show you guys what my chest looks like right now, so you can get an idea of what it looks like. So this is what my chest looks like from the side, right? So this is the scarring that I was telling you guys about that I have, and because I didn't use the adhesive tape for real, like I told you, it would literally come off. I don't know what kind of skin I got, but it wouldn't be where I need it to be. So, but this is what it looks like. So yeah. So if I'm outside, you know what I'm saying, got my chains on or whatever, you know, this is how it fits with my chains on, you know what I'm saying. So typically my titties would have been like out here, but this is how it looks now. That's how I look, y'all. What's up? November 17th was the first day that I took my testosterone, and my doctor gave it to me. I got it. It's a shot, so I'm gonna show you guys. So this is what it comes in right here. This is what the box that it comes in, right? So this is the testosterone. It comes in this little jar. Now I was only taking only taking 0.1 milliliters my first 3 months. And after that, he upped me up. So I started taking 0.2 milliliters of this. So what I would have to do is I would, actually, this isn't even the tip that I would use. I had to have another tip, put that on there, inject it in there, take it out, right? And then take that one off, put this one on top, and inject it in me with this. So as you can see, this needle is it's very, very skinny and isn't that thick. However, the other needle was much thicker, okay? And I would inject it in my stomach, press it in, put a band-aid on it, call it a day. Very simple. Now, I know some of y'all are like, what the fuck is going on? Mind you, this is something I wanted to do with my body. So I was on the testosterone for a year. I actually stopped taking it before I went to Tulum for my birthday. Let me tell you some of the great things that happened. My voice did change. My voice became deeper. That happened almost instantly. And I honestly liked having a deeper voice. I felt like it was cute, to be honest. Like, I felt like I'm just, hey, yeah, what's up? Like, I felt like the voice shit was cute. But as you can see, my voice is back normal. So, secondly, my clitoris enlarged. Now, my clitoris enlarging, that was the best thing that ever happened. I ain't even gonna lie. The clitoris enlarging. But personally, I felt like it was really cool. And it was so many different things that was like changing for me when I was on the T. Like, I didn't feel like I thought like a woman anymore. Like, I was horny all the, like, I understand how men think. I understand how men feel. And that sounds crazy as hell, but I do. Like, while I was on the T, I wasn't thinking like a woman. I was horny all the time. Like, all the time. Like, I could just be walking and see grass and just be horny. And so my clitoris though, like, it would actually like get hard. Like, it was just cool, man. It was cool. I ain't gonna lie, it was cool. It was cool. And y'all probably like, why are you telling us all this? I'm telling y'all this for people who are interested in doing something like this and would want to try it. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm just telling you my experience and what I had. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be very blunt and open and honest. So if you don't want to hear that, don't watch it. If this video is uncomfortable for you, please stop watching it, because I don't want you to be uncomfortable watching this video. This is my truth. I'm telling you what I've experienced, and if this is something you're not interested in, or it's just like, oh no, log off. We ain't tripping. I just wanted to do this for the girlies for the people who are interested in what happened with my top surgery, what my experience was, and what I did. So I don't know anybody else that did something like this. All I know is I did this, and this is what I wanted to do, and it was fun. So this is what got me. I'm not a hairy motherfucker. I'm not a hairy person, like, at all, okay? I'm not hairy at all. When a bitch started to grow a mustache, I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Hell no. When, I swear to God, it's still here too, look. It's like very faint, but, oh, you can see it a little bit. I started growing a mustache right here. I started growing like facial hair, and like, I don't know if y'all know some people that have like little hairs right here. I never had that. Like, I never ever had any form of facial hair. I had eyebrows, eyelashes, hair right here. Like, I ain't never had a mustache or like the little hair that you see people having, like the little fuzz, the peach fuzz. I ain't never had that before. On this testosterone, after about a minute, guess what a bitch started growing? Facial hair. I was done. After that, I was like, oh no, I'm good. So I thought I could help the situation. So I started using this vegan wax, these vegan wax strips that I got from Walmart to help me, like, but I'm doing it, right? And then I would, like, I guess, burn my lips. So I'm like, yo, like, I'm not having no good results. I'm just like, this is crazy to me. Crazy. So I knew once I started growing facial hair, like, I wasn't gonna be doing this for long. But because, like, I don't want to be a guy. I don't want to be a man. I am a woman. I know I'm a woman. I just don't want titties, and I want a muscular body. Like, I want all of that, and I want to be a woman. Like, I don't want no fucking facial hair. I don't even think I would be cute as a boy. I think I'm way cuter as a girl. So yeah, no, that was it for me. Oh, and one more thing, that was it. Acne. Okay, the acne that I was receiving was terrible. Do you hear me? The acne. And I'm gonna show y'all, because right now my skin, look, my skin, oh, and my contour was disappearing too. Like, I had no, like, I was able to clench my jaws. Like, look, I'm gonna show y'all. I was able to clench my jaws and you could see it. And then my contour started, like, leaving. As you can see, my contour is back and I have a female frame again, but that was leaving as well. Like, the contour was disappearing. I'm like, oh no, I'm okay. This is too much for me. I was like, yeah, no, I'm cool. I'm cool with being a girl. I just wanted to be a fit girl. Like, I just wanted to be one of those masked women that was fit and fine. Like, that's what I'm going for myself. Like, that's how I envision myself. So that's what I was trying to do. But the acne, that's what had me like, oh, hell no. Facial hair and the acne was the two things that blew me. That was it. After those two, I developed acne on my forehead, on my cheeks. I was getting acne so bad that right here would be just broken out, disgusting, like broken out all right here on the sides and my forehead. And then I started developing eczema. I have never had eczema before. Eczema, I don't know how y'all say it, but eczema, I ain't never had that before. When I started taking tea, I started developing eczema right here. I started developing it on my eyes, on the back of my legs, behind my knee. I started developing eczema, and I'm like, I've never had that before. Like, why do I have that? So I pay attention to my body. I pay attention to things around me. I pay attention to stuff. So I'm noticing every small change on my body, and I'm like, yeah. So I took tea for 1 year, and I was like, I'm cool. I haven't been back to go see Josh Mueller, my doctor. I'm gonna go back to him though this year, and I'm gonna let him know, like, yeah, I stopped taking the stuff because I ran out of the prescription. So my last shot that I had took from the tea, that was it. After I took that last shot, I didn't get a refill. It was my last refill anyways. So I was just like, all right, I'm done. Y'all probably like, how did I get my acne down? Well, he had, cause after like the first week of me on T, I developed 10 times more acne than I already had. I already had adult acne, but this made me have adult acne, okay? It was bad, terrible. Looking like, my mama used to say, because I've had acne my entire life. When I was a kid, she used to say it looked like I got hit with a sack of nickels. I don't know what a person that looks like they got hit with a sack of nickels look like, but I'm sure it's not a beautiful sight. So, yeah, it looked like I got hit with a sack of nickels real hard. So, yeah, y'all, that's kind of what my story looked like. And I know y'all probably like, this girl is crazy. Absolutely. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of a risk taker. Like, I will do something if I feel like it would benefit me. Like, I would do something that's that I think is in my best interest, that would benefit me, you know, myself, my soul, my energy. Not using people, not with other people's involved, but I'm talking about like, I feel like something would help me. Like, I thought the tea would help me get to my body. And I'm not even gonna lie, I ain't even gonna lie, the tea did help certain things. Let me tell y'all what else it helped. Physically, like I told y'all, my clitoris enlarged. My clitoris is still enlarged now, but it's not as big as it was. That was cool. My hands and my wrist was smaller. Like, my hand is a little bit more meatier and my wrist is actually a little bit thicker. So the tea did help with that. I feel like the tea did help me with my weight loss. It helped me, my body stature. I do feel like it did what it needed to do. So now it's up to me to do what I need to do to make sure I have the body that I want. And so, shoot, what, a year of being on T, a year of working out, I lost 16 pounds and I wasn't even eating right. Like, I wasn't even eating the best. So just imagine if I give it 100% and really focus on my eating habits, and I think I could be where I want to be within like 3 years of this, you know. So I appreciated the tea for getting me on the start to my weight loss journey. And shout out to my Mississippi boo, because she really motivated me to get in the gym. Like, she's the main reason I started getting into the gym, even when I was on the tea and I was seeing results and changes in my body. So once I started taking it, like, it was helping me, but then I realized it was some cons that I didn't like, and I had to get off that shit. It is what it is. So I've been off of the tea since before my birthday. So I've been off of it since December, January, February, March, April, for 5 months. I hope this video was beneficial for some of you, and I hope that some of you learned a little bit more about me. Don't judge a book by its cover. Like, yeah, I was on T, but I ain't trying to transition into a dude. Like, I love being a woman. Pussy is power, okay? I love having a vagina real bad, okay? And I identify as a woman. I identify as she, her. So don't call me no motherfucking they, them. And I'm sorry, no diss to the they, thems, but don't call me they, them. I'm a she, her. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comment section below. I'll answer all questions. I'm totally, completely open. And this is my first time actually talking about this public. So I know some of y'all are thinking like, why didn't you just get a breast reduction? I researched getting a breast reduction, and pretty much like I would have titties still. And that's not what I wanted. Like, I didn't want titties. So yeah, it wasn't gonna work. All they doing is making your titties pumped up and smaller. Like, it's like you getting a titty lift or something, and then they up here. And the results I was seeing from surgeons were terrible, okay? Nah, I'm cool. So I did post this on my Instagram, and I got a lot of feedback from people. Like, I showed them the pictures from my weight loss journey, and there was a lot of people who were asking like if I was transitioning or exactly what was happening, right? Because I had the surgery. They didn't even care about the weight loss. They saw that I ain't had titties anymore, and they like, what the hell is going on? I posted this saying like, y'all, I lost 15 pounds and didn't even realize it until I weighed myself yesterday. I was still eating sweets, drinking alcohol, and not meal prepping. My goal is to tone and have abs June 1st, 2023. since January 1st, no sweets, no alcohol, calorie deficit eating, meal prepping, a gallon of water each day, and 5 days at the gym. Discipline is real. Ever since I started going to the gym, I was 10 times more happier. People started asking me hella questions. So I did talk about how a few years ago I did have leakage in my breast with the mammograms and everything. So then I started receiving DMs about like people saying that nobody wants to be a nigga, lay me on the table and cut them. Some people said I didn't want to ask, but this is inspirational. So it's a lot of different things. It's like people say they don't want to transition, they just don't want titties. So I've realized that there's a lot of people out there that are just like me. I even had one girl tell me about she had the exact same experience as me. So I think that this is just bringing awareness to people who are of color, who are black women, who also don't want titties. And I know y'all probably like, why do you keep saying titties? Breasts. I say titties. I'm from Chicago. We say titties. We don't say breasts. Okay? Even though that's the proper term. But yeah. So there's other people out there that are women just like me, or even more feminine than me, that don't want breasts. I was receiving that from feminine women, y'all, saying like, I don't want it. But you know, people be all talk though. People be all talk. You see, I ain't no talker. I do it. That's the difference. I do it. You see me out here, no titty gang. What's up? I did also put a questionnaire on my Instagram. Here's a few questions that I had. Somebody said, how was going through this process mentally? Going through this process mentally was good. I was very happy. Like I said, I enjoyed getting the surgery. At first it was nerve-wracking because I had to find a psychologist, but other than that, it was a smooth sailing process for me. Somebody said, how did your family react? That's a good one. My mom, she did not react the best way, y'all. She honestly doesn't even like the fact that I'm gay. So she didn't react to it very well, especially when she found out I was taking tea, and she only found that out because she saw my stuff. You know, like, people be nosy. She opened my mail and it had my like health records in there with the tea in there, and she was asking me about it, and I'm like, yeah, like, I am. And she's like, you want to be a man? And I'm just like, no, I don't want to be a man. I just want a physique of a male. Like, I want toned, like what people would think the physique of a fit man would look like, but I want that as a woman. She didn't react really well. My daddy, on the other hand, my daddy be whatever. He'd be like, oh yeah, do you, boo? Like, that's my dad. He's like my best friend. Like, I love that he really is very supportive, to be honest. My dad is very, very supportive. My mom, on the other hand, isn't as supportive, and most of the time it'd be negative stuff. So I just be letting it go in one ear and out the other, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna choose what's best for me, and you may not understand it, and that's okay that you don't understand it. It's cool. Somebody said, could you explain what moved you to have this surgery? Oh, I pretty much said that I had this surgery because I didn't want breasts, and also because I was having leakage in my breasts and there was nothing the doctors could do. So I'm glad that when my surgeon did the surgery, that he didn't find anything cancerous, thank the Lord. But who's to say that nothing would have developed if I would have kept my breasts? So yeah. So if you have any questions, you want to put something in the comments, go ahead, do you, boo. I'm gonna answer everything. I really hope that this video was helpful. I hope that I gave you guys everything that you needed in order to understand what I went to, my experience. I know it's different and unique and weird for some, but just know that I am the same person that you've seen from start to finish. Nothing changed but the titties. All right, peace and love. See y'all next time.